All right. So, now are you going to play us in with another recap?
Yeah, I am. Look at
Yes.
my.
Are you really?
Yeah, hang on. I just need to. All
It's
right,
the
give me a
best
second to
part
run.
of every game. Like the rest of the game just sucks ass.
It's
but
terrible.
I
I'd fucking cry.
All you
I just put up with
music
it for the song.
Beautiful music.
Do I?
All right, I got it. Oh, this is so. Replacement ukulele.
Oh my god, you have a second one.
There's a backup.
The
It's
back.
pretty hardcore.
It's like the electric one.
This one is more in tune, even though it's kind of a worse ukulele.
This one's
Okay.
more for sweet licks.
We defeated the monsters and got the shard. We returned to the entrance, although it was hard. Heard a sweet voice, told the dwarves lives. Found out Tompkins left. Now we're off to find that guy. The end. The best I can do on one take.
Very beautiful.
It's perfect. You don't need another take. You're done.
Woke up in a lucid dream. Now we're hunting for the shards. We might be an oddball team, but at least we've got no bards. World Walkers.
Last time on World Walkers, the group recovered their first shard of Stardust, carefully sneaking their way back to the portal and ultimately to the town of Hogarth. The group returned to discover two things. First, while they only spent a small amount of time in the other world, it had been 3 weeks back on the other side. Not only that, but their halfling guide Tompkins had lost hope, telling a bar patron that he intended to visit his parents. The group, baffled by the loss of time and in need of finding their guide, collect their thoughts and gather supplies before they venture forth to the city of Bridgeport. He's been gone for 3 weeks, and eventually he was talking to someone around here. I forget who. And then he decided to venture off to the. And he goes. Oh, the west. He went west.
Could I maybe gesture, if any of them are looking over at me, gesture them over, and then while I'm doing that, continue to talk to the dwarf and just say, are you sure you don't remember who he talked to before he left?
I'm not over there. I'm actually standing on a table now, like showing a jig to the dwarves that are around me. Like I'm trying to get them on the table with me to dance. I'm like, yeah, all right, well, look at this. I got the slow down going.
Yeah, you get a few to join you.
Yeah, I'm having a merry time. All the drinks.
So yeah, the rest of the group comes around you, Tin, except for Vassa. And he says, "Oh man, oh, it was me. It was me. I'm sorry."
Okay.
And he stayed around for a little while because he believed in you and stuff, and then he just said that he was gonna go visit his parents, and so he left.
We've only been gone for 2 days.
No, you've been gone 3 weeks. We all thought you were dead.
I'm actually, Tin has very little patience for this kind of stuff, so she just, makes sure none of, the bar patrons are looking, and she steps in real close and just, picks this guy up by his collar and is just I need to know specifically where he went.
He went to Bridgeport to visit his parents, he said.
Which way is Bridgeport?
How do we get there?
West.
Yeah.
I set the dwarf down and hand him a gold piece. It's thanks.
He takes the coin. He walks up to the bar.
Okay, so we need to discuss this freaking time skip jump, guys, because that's fucking weird. Is it the cave? Was it the plague blood? Was it the...
Yes to all of the above.
Well, certainly we did go somewhere special when we went through that portal from which all those crazy monsters coming from. I suppose time just moved differently there.
Yeah, I'm going to imagine it's something to do with that. I think right now we need to focus on getting this back to Tompkins before more nightmares show up here.
Are we gonna close out the passageways, or or make sure the dwarves do it, or just let them do whatever the fuck they want?
No, they decided they're gonna fight him off.
If that's their decision, I think we can, map out best we can. If you can use your ranger skills, like I imagine, like your ranger skills, you have like animal drawing skills. You can do like. I like to imagine you use like an old printer and you just go, and it's like photorealistic drawing.
Just leaves assy art for them.
Yeah. So we can, like maybe we can make notes about what we know, like stay a couple of days. If anybody needs any supplies or anything, we think the town can provide us before we travel out, and then just go hunt down Tompkins. He's our only link really back.
Barto needs to go to a store.
Let's rest up and load up on stuff while all the time hiding the shard from these people that we are lying to, and then head west.
So are we like kind of just chilling in the town before preparing to can we assume that we had a long rest or something?
Oh yeah, that'd be fine. You take the night to live.
Oh yeah.
Rest up. Yeah.
So during that long rest, that night that we slept at wherever, Vassa would actually have gotten up in the middle of the night to do something.
Okay.
And I would like everybody else besides Pedro to cover their ears so that I can do this in secret.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Vassa is basically just exploring the town, and she's just looking for a book. It could be at a store. It's not a specific book. She's literally just on a casual stroll through the night looking for a book.
Okay. Is it any book? Is it blank or?
It could be. I mean, actually, if it looked slightly shiny and special, she would probably try to go after that one because she's basically trying to find a book to steal.
Ooh, right on.
And it doesn't matter which one. But she just wants it to look slightly special.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So I don't know if I need to roll for that or something.
I don't think it's important enough. It's just, I don't want to turn it into like a whole side where it's like, oh, now we gotta escape. You would probably find a red leather-bound journal from the mayor. Okay. If you were really scouting around, like if you're trying to find it in a shop, you can find something. But if you were going with something that was like one of a kind, you could steal the mayor's journal.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, if it was that easy and I don't need to roll, that's fine. We can just go ahead and she got the book, she slipped it in her possessions, and she's back in her thingy.
Sweet.
Is it still night?
It can be. You can sleep through the night, or you can wake up in the middle of the night.
Riddleby wakes up like 6 times to pee, but that's normal.
That's not normal.
Less than average.
At some point, Brummelstone, can you roll a either history or geography check for me?
Yeah. Let me look and see what I have better.
And Roberto could too.
I have a +5 for that. Let's do it.
Ooh. Okay, I got a 15.
15?
I got a 24.
Bang.
All right, so yeah, the next morning you all wake up, you pack up, and you're ready to go as early as you guys want to be.
What did I find in the notes? That's what I would have studied, I guess.
Oh, all right. So you pretty much spent the whole night looking through the notes?
Yeah, and the books and stuff. I know you sent me the book stuff already. So
Yep. So the notes, there's a lot. It's hard to put them in the right order. Like, there's still a lot you'd have to go through. But I can give you a couple entries from the notes. The ones that stuck out the most. The first one that you come across, that you believe chronologically would be the first, is one that says, "Since being banished to this entropic nightmare, I have found nothing but fragments of the world I can never return to. It must be some sort of shadow world. Maybe it's just a nightmare." That was the first one you get. The second one that you found, that you were able to kind of put after that was, "I found Tremesa today. As I climbed over the darkened bones of a creature I've never seen before. Relieved, I returned to my home, only to find it infested with terrible creatures that screeched as they attempted to tear my skin off. I had to use nearly all of my spells in order to slay the beast, save one. I dominated its mind, and am working towards breaking its will. I explored the house afterwards. I believe another family lives there. It's as if I never was here. After you go through some more notes, the one that you felt chronologically came next was, I've come to believe that this world of grays is simply a collection of shattered possibilities. Things that could have been but never were. Or perhaps these things did happen, but something changed and now they're discarded, banished, like me. The creature I tamed, which I call a Grey Walker, has summoned more of its kind. All of them are obedient to me. Do they share the same mind? I must use them. The last entry that you were able to kind of figure out and go through was, maybe you asked me maybe it was a year after that other one. And it says, everything has come together so well, almost as if I were meant to be here. The plague I've developed is ready, and the Grey Walkers suffered no ill effects, just as I suspected. Perhaps they no longer have a timeline, a history. Regardless, the plague should erode the fabric of time. I just need to test it. There was a weakening in the barrier between the worlds nearby. Not weak enough for myself or the Grey Walkers to pass through, but perhaps the plague could. The nearby village should be an adequate testing ground. There's a young dwarf who passes by sometimes. I just need him to come close enough to carry the plague back home.
Dickweed.
Hey.
That's dwarven for fuckface.
Shite.
After that, I suspect you didn't read any more notes for a while. Maybe you went to bed.
Wept openly in my pillow.
Now, let's see. Do you talk to Roberto about any of that the next day?
Yeah, no, that's the first thing. I might even interrupt him in the middle of the night and just weep on his shoulder and pet his kitten for comfort.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Roberto is pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Shaken
Sad?
by it. Yeah, he's pretty shaken by it, but he tries to remain stoic and like, I have to be strong for Brummelstone.
Aww.
Even though his tiny little metal heart, just little like just went.
I sent both Brummelstone and Roberto information about that history check after you
Thank
read
you.
those notes. So, okay. So
Tin wakes up in the morning and she goes, guys, I had a dream about elephants. That's all she's gonna say.
I'm not sure I've ever seen one of those. I'd be very interested in seeing one for no reason. I just like seeing animals.
Yeah, maybe
Is
we'll
there
see
one in
one.
town? Yeah.
Maybe we could see one along the way or something. I don't know.
Wasn't there like a sign in the village? Elephant.
Elephant tamer? Do they happen to have a circus in this town?
Let me roll and check.
Only.
No.
I'm very lucky. I can use a luck point.
You know what? I'll let you do that. If you want to roll, you want me to re-roll this goddamn die with a luck point to see there's a fucking elephant in this dwarven mining town.
Hey, I can use one to like push
Very
carts
much.
and stuff. You never know.
I mean, when you put it that way,
Yeah, his tone suggests that chance is very unlikely.
your tone is
so.
somewhat leading. However, well, if anyone does see one of these elephants, I'm very curious. I really like looking at new kinds of animal. That's all.
Vassa would be already awake and downstairs getting her morning beer. So yeah,
Your morning beer.
her morning
Some
mead.
champion.
Her wake up juice.
Borto is feeding his kitty and stroking Brummelstone's head at the same time. And
Brummelstone is relying the entries from it through tears. Weeping.
Is this at breakfast with the rest of them? Like, are you going to share?
Yeah, so I would share just to let everyone know on the same page. They all helped me get books. I would also share what the books are about, but you're not that interested unless you like exfoliation or conspiracy about clouds, because Have I got some books for you? I would talk about in the note. I'm so sorry, I didn't catch all of it.
No, I can recap it for you if you want.
Did he mention Tremesa?
Yeah, that in the first entry he mentioned that he was banished. In the second entry he mentioned that he found Tremesa today.
So I would stop there and talk about how Tremesa is this city that exists, but no one has a history of existing. There's believed to be an extensive library in the middle of the ruins, and I might piece together that some of these books that I have found come from this library. If he can travel to Tremesa, but that's just a guess. And that possibly that's the guy passed through Tremesa looking for the library, disappeared into the Shadow Realm, and then came figured out maybe the way back and forth. But it's also it cuts off the city from Bridgeport, which is where Tompkins was headed. So we may run afoul of Tremesa. It may be worth investigating, but it may not be.
Did you say you had a book on exfoliation?
Do I, Grandma?
How does one exfoliate? I've wondered this for some time.
Well, I have a small tomb that can tell you such lovely things.
So Vassa finishes her mead and kind of snaps her finger at the bartender for another one while she's looking at Brimstone. She's like, wait. Is Tremesa a person or a place?
It's a city. So my understanding is Hogarth is here where we're at. There's Tremesa that no one really goes near because it's full of danger. And then there's Bridgeport where we need to get to go, or where we last heard that Tompkins was going.
So can we go around Tremesa? Let's just, boop.
You would know both Roberto and Brummelstone. You could, but it would add days to your travel.
It's definitely worth investigating.
What's a few days when we can, keep our lives, right?
And I kind of snap my fingers and I point at Tiny Tim like, yes, her. She knows what it's all about.
But there's also a possibility of solving this curse.
Or catching the curse.
Point, counterpoint, very good points all around. Everyone's doing a great job. I am a little alarmed at how much of a dickweed the guy who wrote that book sounded like.
Your dwarven is spot on.
I thank you, dearie. I've always had a knack for languages. Those robots would attest to. I've really picked up on calling them forge very quickly. I'll go along with anyone, though I do like reading. And if there's more books on not just exfoliation, but also moisturizing, I've always been curious.
Yeah, we could definitely learn a lot if we, just learn a lot in general. We could hone our own skills if we find some more tomes that could possibly increase our knowledge. Most importantly, my knowledge.
I say we go to Tresemme.
I kind of look at Tiny Tin and I'm just like,
yeah,
come on, let's get another voice in here to not do this.
Adventure is out there.
Tin looks to Vassa and she kind of does a shrug and is looks like we are a bit outnumbered on this point. Best to stick together than to separate. So I will go with the group.
I kind of turn around. Vassa turns around and just snaps her finger fast at the bartender for another drink. I'm gonna need that.
He doesn't seem like he feels the same level of anxiety and pressure that you do about this situation, but he eventually brings you your mead.
Just thank you.
He's like, usually no one's here at 9 a.m. It's a nice day.
And then I'm like, about time, and I don't need that judgmental eye from you, sir.
Well, I'll just leave it here for you then. And he gives you one more side eye and walks away.
I wonder if there'll be an elephant in this magical land.
Yeah, maybe I can learn more about elephants in Tresemme.
Tresemme.
Tremesa. Guys, it's Tremesa.
Tremesa. Okay.
Ooh la la.
So I know also in one of those books was a tomb of the history of our world, which now I forget. the name of?
The
Is that
Ages
right?
of Obrimos? The world's called Obrimos.
Okay, of Obrimos.
Yeah.
Sorry. I feel like I feel bad when I'm like, it's like I don't know my girlfriend's parents' name or something. Like, this is them.
Just like, you know, this world.
In this world that I live, I would kind of flip through looking for anything in there. I take it that it's not mentioned in history books, but maybe just a bone up before.
So you try to find out more about Tremesa?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Is it index at the end?
No, it really is. That particular tome is a collection of notes, and that book is trying to lay out the theory that that Obrimos has existed several times.
Okay.
And that every time it stops existing, that existence is shunted off into that world you were in, the gray.
Okay.
And then a new existence comes into play, but you haven't really read enough about why it thinks that. So you guys start traveling.
Pedro, before we move on, I wanted to tell you that Ertleby did steal a book also when we were back in the library. I think it should be on the record from last time.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Okay, good. I
think that like you stole a book like before you left or something. I was like,
stole a book from me. Like, excuse me,
from right behind you in your house. I stole your book. No, so in case I should come back and like tie the entire game together and become the most important object in the entire campaign, I just wanted to make sure you knew she's got it.
Actually, let me go through that real quick. Is because each of you took a selection of books, right?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Vassa didn't.
I think everybody but Vassa took 2 or 3, but I could be wrong. Don't let me.
So, and you were carrying them for Brummelstone, correct or no?
I was carrying at least one because I think I could, but for somebody who wasn't me. But then I also had my own, which I think Ertleby picked because it had nice pictures.
Okay. I'll send you the info on that book then.
Yay!
Okay. Everybody else, I can tell you the names of the books real quick because there's a couple books everyone took, and like from that pile that you guys, I assume, gave Brummelstone afterwards, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then there was the books that he was talking about earlier, The Essence of Exfoliating, Worthwhile Weather, Waking Up Dead, The Collected Works of Iolus, and The Ages of Obrimos. That was the name of the noteworthy books in your collections. And then I'll send you info on yours in particular that you stole on the sly.
I like to think it's just a menu to like a Chinese restaurant or something.
It's just style.
You guys all pack up, gather your stuff, and head out. And over the next couple of days, the only thing that you really find about Tremesa that you start putting together is that Tremesa, like, you're starting to put the pieces of all this together, and I guess the one thing that would stick out to you is that Tremesa has never existed, like you said, according to historians and scholars. They can't find any evidence of it being a part of civilizations. You also know that in the notes that you found, that whoever wrote those notes claims to have gotten to Tremesa, but they said they were banished first, and then got to Tremesa. So according to that person, he got to Tremesa, or she got to Tremesa, while in the gray.
Which makes me think that like that's where he's getting they're getting the books from. Like they have taken stuff from Tremesa.
Yeah, so just given, I don't know if I made that clear or not, but
do we know who has the shard? Right.
Good question. I don't know who has a shard.
Oh yeah, Vassa has a shard in a little pouch around her neck.
Oh, cool. So you have to travel around the hills and over the hills, and eventually you come into what comes into view must be the ruins of Tremesa. Before you lays a weathered city, a relic from a past that never existed. Temples and chapels scatter the landscape, just peeking over the old barren walls that used to protect the city. The color itself seems to have been drained from what's left. To Brummelstone and Roberto, it feels wrong, as if it's somehow forced itself into this location. While there are vines and other signs of vegetation in and around Tremesa, there are no signs of wildlife.
Is the Mesa the same as Tresemme? As the same as
Guy
Tremesa?
fucking goddamn it. Retcon.
This is in its like sister city. The Mesa.
You know what? We're gonna.
Oh, I thought they were the same thing.
They're supposed to.
They are.
They
While
are.
the universe is figuring itself out, at some point during the journey, I would have Vassa would have come up beside Brimstone and sort of maybe during rest just like kind of been like, Master Dwarf, I think you and I got off on the wrong foot. So to help us see better eye to knee, I have a present for you. And she sort of like ceremoniously pulls out a red leather-bound book and offers it to Brimstone. A peace offering.
Thank you. I'm not sure if I still trust you. You have a slick tongue, but I appreciate the offer. And rest assured, I know you were troubled coming here, but we will do everything. I will make sure that since you are coming here, I will lay my life down before yours falls.
And I yours, Master Dwarf. And Vassa just kind of pats him heartily on the shoulder and leaves him the red leather-bound book/journal, and then kind of like goes back to doing her own thing in a corner.
Borto has seen this entire exchange. He kind of like tilts his head like you do like with an animal. He goes like, "Aww."
This is the first time Brimstone has made a friend.
Technically, you made a friend once. Roberto.
Oh my god.
That's the only.
Now Roberto knows where he stands.
Jealousy courses through his robot veins.
What is this exchange? What is this feeling?
This sensation, I don't like it.
The other thing I should note is that Vassa, you recognize the idea of temples and chapels.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you just see fancy buildings that peak above because the rest of you come from worlds that don't necessarily have deities.
Mm.
So, like, you would understand the idea of, like, a fancy building, but only Vassa would really kind of pick up on the religious significance of temples and chapels scattered about.
Yeah. She would plant her hands on her hips and kind of survey the place and just say very dryly, a dead place for dead gods.
Oh, a gourd. I've read about this in a book. So I didn't mention it, but I guess if we can retcon, did I make my Raven friend again a familiar? I mean, it takes somewhere in those, like 3 hours to summon one.
Well, did you name it before?
I believe it. Raven 1. This is Raven 2.
So the ruins are surrounded by old, kind of battered, weathered walls. There's only one entrance unless you plan on scaling the walls. How would you like to enter, if at all?
Can I send so I mentioned it so I could send Maven the Raven to look out and kind of at least look over and see if he sees any life forms, or she sees any life forms on the other side.
Your Raven is hesitant to travel through it. Doesn't want to. Like, you could force it, but when you ask it to, it stares at you and refuses.
Raven 1 would never have done this. Raven 1 was the better Raven.
No, Vassa observes this and says, the bird has more sense than we do.
Can we send Tin with her infinite perception?
I'm literally gonna like peek over the wall, see an army, be like, "It's all good, guys." Come on over.
All clear.
You guys.
There's some really great vines in here, guys.
It checks.
Wait, how high is this wall? How high is the wall?
The wall's only about 10 feet.
So Vassa is just gonna like kind of sigh and step forward and prepare to very craftily, stealthily scale that 10 feet wall. Does she have to roll for anything?
You'd have to make a climb check. So it'd be a strength athletics.
Look, I'm just gonna. Can you see the natural 20?
She goes to jump and leaps 30 feet in the air.
She flies.
Nice.
Just.
Oh,
Yeah, like she actually like forgets to fall and just keeps going. She's like, oh, here we go. Good job.
All right, so tongue hanging out, you Air Jordan the side of the wall. Quickly get up the side and take a peek over. It, like I said, it's barren. There are vines and tall grass and weeds that grow everywhere. You don't initially see any kinds of signs of life. You don't even see that it's... You don't have any idea whether or not it'd be inhabited or not.
So my passive perception of 16 doesn't show anything?
No, like as in like you feel confident that there's nothing in the area.
And then so I would climb up to stand on the wall edge and toss my rope down for everybody else. And I would use my newly purchased grapple hook to anchor. No, I would use my one of my purchased pittons to anchor it into the wall side, so that I don't need to rely on my own strength.
Or it'll be scoots up like a little inchworm. So she she has her like arms up, and then like her whole body like joins her, and then her arms go up again. That's how she climbs the rope.
All right, so yeah, one by one, you each scale the wall with little or no effort, thanks to the rope, and you find yourselves looking over the city. Just like I explained to Vassa, it's pretty barren. You don't see anything of note in the city. I mean, it's a large city. Obviously, it's going to take you a while to navigate your way through it, but initially, you don't see any cause for concern.
Okay, so I think we should, just because things are going to get weird, like Magical Mystery City, draw ourselves on the sheet of paper again so we know everyone who's here. So I like pass around the book I have, and then like I make people like write in the inside cover, like, and draw a picture of themselves. This is my instruction. I'm like, please draw yourself and label with your name.
And don't forget to include Raven too.
Oh yeah, Raven
yes.
needs to.
I call him Raven 2 Fast 2 Furious.
Vassa draws a little black octahedron symbol.
Good. Now, if we forget anyone, we just look in the book.
Bremmelstone also, if he doesn't know the book, he would take time to see just like what book it was before passing it on.
Is it the book that I haven't talked to you about yet?
Yes. We're defacing it, so...
I hope it's an autobiography about a bard.
It's called Quizzical Queries.
I love that. All right, so we're writing ourselves in quizzical queries in the event that we have quizzical queries about our identities.
Yeah.
Does Brimstone's Raven react now that we are over on the wall?
Your Raven has not come forward. Like, it really does not want to approach.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you can force it to, because you're its master, but it does not want to come anywhere near that wall.
Can anyone talk to it and be like, hey, Raven, what particular is freaking you out?
Oh, yeah, I think I have like a telepathic link with it, right? Like, hey, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, bitch.
Chirp, chirp,
Excuse me, chirp.
What about money?
I would speak to it much kinder. I mean, it is Raven 2 Fast 2 Furious.
So, with the telepathic link, it doesn't gain a higher level of intelligence, so it can't have any sort of deep conversation with you.
Yeah.
But it basically just, you can feel its fear and its unease at the area. It fears it, essentially. Like, the same feeling of wrongness that you have on a certain level, it has on a much greater level.
Can we use it to pinpoint where it is and like hold it out like a compass and then like see how the fear increases? Also, as I'm so sorry for cutting you off, I just wanted to Simba the bird in like a circle and then like hunt down.
Raven 2 is just gonna have like feathers falling out from stress. I would beckon it forward, try to ease it as best I can with my telepathic mind. And...
Unless you're forcing it, it starts to move away from you. Because it realizes what you want it to do.
Oh, well, I'm going to be a jerk to the bird, so I'm gonna force it.
You're going to give the bird? All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Don't be a bird brain.
Sorry. You can feel its kind of free will kind of ebb and leave it for a moment as you force it forward, and it comes and it sits on your shoulder. and it's just kind of freaking out, but it's not making noise. It's not trying to give away your position or anything. It's
A little drop of bird poop.
Rip.
I take a piece of pebble and first chuck it at the ground just to see what happens.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Fucking see that? I fucking rolled something.
I also throw a pebble.
All clear.
Can I also throw a pebble? Just to...
So it's obvious.
I think we're running out of pebbles, guys.
After Ertleby throws the pebble.
That's the last of the pebbles that have just been sitting on top of the wall.
Yeah. I kind of just go, well, Master Dwarf, your city. I gestured towards the area.
Yeah, I climbed down the wall.
Okay, well, why don't we head towards the library? At least we have somewhere to investigate.
Yeah.
Well,
that was Bromostone's thought.
Yeah. As soon as Bromostone's feet touch the ground and he's there for maybe 30 seconds with nothing happening, Vassa just hops down next to him. After collecting her rope and pittance, of course.
Right. So, you begin to make your way through the city. How are you doing this? Are you just kind of walking down the middle of the street? Are you trying to dart back and forth? Are you rooftop jumping like,
Oh, that's cool.
Ninja?
Are we cool enough to do that?
Vassa would have encouraged that we keep mostly to the shadows and not walk straight out in the open. But that would have been her encouragement.
What time of the day is it?
It's probably about 3 in the afternoon at this point.
Okay, how far are we from the thingy, the library?
Well, are you guys sneaking then?
Yes.
If so, I need stealth checks.
Stealth in time. Stealth in time.
I got a 15.
I got a 29.
We added our decks. I got 22.
I got 8.
I got a mighty 10.
Bromostone is just fascinated by everything. He's like, ooh, what's that?
He keeps darting out into the open to look at things.
10's armor just keeps reflecting light everywhere. So.
The freaking flashlight, hey, we're over here. Hey.
It's just like a roaming rave.
The system is down. down.
Okay. So,
Vassa would have noticed how poorly Tiny Tin and Brimstone are disguising themselves, so she would have actually placed a little bit of distance between her and them.
Who's taking point?
Boito will.
Okay, and what is your passive perception?
11.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You guys are kind of sticking to the alley, sticking to the shadows, and as you're walking down one particular alley, as Roberto walks past an archway, a figure darts out and brings its staff against Roberto. What is your AC?
17.
Yeah, this figure kind of darts out of an archway, and you hear its staff clang against Roberto's armor. Not enough to actually do any kind of damage, but as soon as he bangs against it, he kind of backs off a little bit. The figure is wearing red robes and have like an kind of a white trim along the sleeves, intricate designs. They have a whole belt full of crystals, little thin light blue glowing crystals. The staff that the person's carrying has kind of a large crystal attached to the top of it as well. And he's also carrying a backpack. His hood's up, but his hands, you can see, are shriveled and almost mummified. And he takes a step back, and he just kind of like looks at you, and he's like, "Get out!" and leans forward, and he's ready to attack again.
Who are you?
So it's actually first round of combat, and it's Roberto's turn.
Oh,
damn.
Okay.
So are you saying that?
That's his turn.
Are we first round of combat? Like we're fighting?
Oh, he is.
He is. Oh yeah, I mean, like
each person on their initiative will decide whether or not they're joining combat.
Okay.
Just knock him out.
I'm just like I want to yell. I don't want to fight first. I mean, I just want to be. I just yell like, "Stop! What do you want?"
And
Dude.
he shakes his staff and he's like, "Get out!" So
Okay.
are you taking an action, or are you going to kind of wait until?
Can I go into a defensive stance? Or
You can, yeah. If you take a defensive stance, it means that anyone who attacks you gets disadvantage this round.
Yes,
But it means that you don't take any actions.
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
I just want to position myself between the party and
Ertleby?
Ertleby looks at his hands and realizes she could help. Do you know you can exfoliate? She shouts.
Oh my god.
You just need some aloe. I just learned this. All it takes is some aloe. And she like holds the book up like she's really proud.
He stares at you angrily and he's like, "Where did you find that?"
Oh, we found it in a mysterious shadow world guarded by dragons. The person who owned it seems to be, well, a fuckface. If you don't mind my comment.
And he just lets out this scream.
Oh.
And you don't understand what language he's using.
It's not druidic, I guess. I mean, she doesn't know she's a druid, but she would recognize.
She
if it
would,
was
yeah.
druidic.
Yeah. Tin?
Oh, well, Tin is gonna go, can actually, I noticed all the crystals. Can I try and aim my rifle at the big crystal and his staff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, you're essentially trying to disarm him.
Good idea, Tin.
I don't know if you guys can, wait, yeah.
14.
Ooh, a 14.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, 20. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Damn, Tin.
Damn.
So it's actually a 27 overall.
Ooh.
Man, he like lost his weapon, and he lost his weapon that he was planning to use yesterday.
The crystal shatters, and then we get fireworks, and then an elephant appears. And
So what was your total, Megan?
27.
27. All right. So you don't shatter the crystal, but you do shoot the staff out of his hand and send it flying next to him. Like there was kind of this field that erupted from the crystal and kept you from shattering the crystal. But it did blast it out of his hands. And he looks terrified.
Not so funny now, are we?
That's so funny now, Mr. Funny Man.
He is going to pick it up, and then he's going to like kind of force it forward with both hands, almost like kind of in a defensive stance. And then you see the crystal glow, and then you hear this kind of like this, like, and it happens behind all of you. And as you turn around to look what it is, this blue rift or portal opens up, and he comes out of it.
Him again? There's two hymns?
Yeah, his clothes look a little older, maybe. He himself looks even more mummified, if you will. His clothes are tattered. But he comes out of it, and he just kind of shakes his head and gets his staff ready.
Not as an action, but can Ertleby start drawing him in her book? Yeah. Just like little doodles, taking note of whatever's happening, and she's not actively doing something. Okay, so she's gonna draw him, and then older, uglier him.
Just a note that says like "need aloe" beside it.
Yeah.
Vassa.
All right. Well, I guess I was Vassa was more towards the rear of the group, so she would actually be pretty close to the one that just appeared from the portal. And she's going in with her double wield of a scimitar and a short sword. So she just rolled a 20, not a natural 20.
Nice, that's a hit.
First, her scimitar strike is 7, and her short sword attack is a 1. And then she's going to use her sneak attack, 10, and then she's going to use her cunning action to disengage out of range.
Nice.
You're quick to just slice and dice and get the fuck out.
So would that put you further away from the group or more in the middle of the group, did you say?
That would put me more in the middle, but still on the periphery. Like I'm not bunched in the middle or hiding behind anybody.
Another one further down the alley comes out, and he also thrusts his staff forward, and you hear that same familiar sound, that kind of rip, and then another version of him comes out behind him.
Vassa would have said shit and then says, "Get the original."
Brummelstone is angry because he believes this is the guy whose notes he's been reading earlier. And he is furious about this. And so he's going to cast Scorching Ray, which allows me to attack with 3 rays of fire. And so he'll do the first 3 that he saw. 17 plus 5, 22.
That's a hit on the first one?
Oh, and then a natural 20 on the second one.
Critical.
Ooh!
And then...
Alright, what is going on?
Nat 20.
A 12 on the last one.
That one's a miss.
So I'll do the first one. Is 7, so 8. And then the last one miss. So...
Okay, so yeah, you put your hand forward, and then you said the spells. How do they come out of your orb?
Yeah, so like I take the orb and I run my fingers over it, and it almost splits into 3. Like the orb disappears, almost like it's entered a new cosmos, and 3 fireballs just appear and they fling in a different direction.
Yep, they rocket forward, and 2 of them find their target. The third one, unfortunately, didn't. They feel that impact. They both the 2 that you hit. The first one and then the second version of him both took the impact and kind of reeled back. Where you hit the first one, you see a little bit of a burn mark, like an old burn mark on the second one's clothing. Next round, Roberto.
Okay, this time for diplomacy is over. Take out my 2 short swords, and I'm gonna be like, it's time to freaking party. And I go for the guy that I noticed the burn mark from Brummelstone's fireball. Go for that one.
Okay.
Let's charge.
During this whole thing, Vassa would have been repeatedly shouting, "Kill the original! Kill the original!"
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know which one is the original.
She might have even said at some point, "Roberto, kill the original!"
Which one's the original?
The one that's next to you.
The one that's next to me, right? Okay. That's the one I want to stab in the butt. Okay.
No one appears in the rear but me.
Okay. Got a 1.
Roberto was just too confused by all the appeals.
Yeah, you just kind of look back and forth. You're like, but maybe, and
I'm completely thrown off by these doubles because, like, I've never experienced twins, let alone triplets.
Ertleby?
Ertleby hates the rudeness of this guy, so she's gonna take out her gun, but aim at his crystal. Her eyes narrowing, muttering under her breath, just trying to help. 12.
He moves the staff out of the way just in time.
Nah.
Ugh.
At this point, a third individual comes from the doorway, and as he does, he puts his staff forward, and you can hear another rip, but you don't see where that person is.
Oh, shite.
10.
Am I anywhere near any of the original ones?
Let's see. You can make it to the first, or you can make it to the first one, the first original, very easily.
Kind of conflicted. I think I'm gonna stay where I am and fire my gun, but this time aiming at the person, not the crystal.
Okay.
It's like, you can't frickin' make copies if you're dead, mother effer. You dickweed.
Yeah.
22.
That's it.
Oh, 15 damage.
So you take a shot at him. There's a huge shot rings out, echoes throughout the alleyway, and the one that he seemed to have summoned, he screams out and he's like, "No!" And he freaks out at the idea, and you see that there's a old, basically destroyed piece of his cloak where you shot the original. And the original is going to... So he's going to leave Roberto's range. So Roberto, you get a free attack.
Oh, nice. I got 12.
Oh, almost. So yeah, you catch a piece of his cloak, but not him. And you see that same tear appear on the other one. So this one charges forward and he swings twice. The first hit lands successfully and basically crashes into your side for 3 damage.
Wait, who? Me?
Yeah, 10. Yep.
Of course. Okay.
The second one, he swings his staff, like he spins it, and crashes it against the side of your head for a critical hit.
Oh!
11 damage.
What the hell? But you're like super beefy though, right? You're like, not that I don't feel your pain right now. I feel it, but like that would have killed Ertleby maybe. So.
Poor Tin.
Who's at the back of the line right now?
Probably Brummelstone.
So, the summoned version of him runs forward almost at the same time this other one did, but like just a little bit after, and attempts to crash into you. What's your AC?
Hefty 11.
He crashes, he runs forward, and he jams the crystal part of his staff into your gut.
Ooh. Ooh.
And
Oh my god.
that's me getting all my dice, not rolling a huge amount. All right.
Where's my D100?
He rushes forward, jams the crystal into Brummelstone's gut, and that same kind of explosion of blue energy that you saw when the crystal defended itself erupts, and both of them disappear. Vassa?
Oh my god!
What?
Oh no! Oh no! Do we all still remember him?
Yeah. He's just
Okay,
gone.
good.
Okay, there's still like 2 dudes left.
Oh, there's like 5 dudes left.
Yeah, there's
What?
5.
Oh, shite. Was that the original or the one that took
That was the
Brummelstone?
summoned one. Vassa?
Yep, so she's still going for the original. I'm going to call him Man Capital A. So she's going to go towards Man Capital A and again try to attack him with her scimitar and short sword. She gets a 19 plus 6, which makes a 25.
That's a hit.
Okay, and now we're rolling for damage. Let's see. And then her short sword. And then she's going to do her level 3 double attack thing, which is 2d6. So that's 22 damage. And then she's going to disengage into the direction where the lowercase a man disappeared with Brimstone.
Okay. So you charge forward and you do 2 hard slashes, both connect, get into its gut, and then you dart back before it even has a chance to react to the damage. And you find yourself back in the middle of the crowd. The second one that emerged that was next to Roberto is going to attack. Its first attack is successful, and it crashes against your midsection for 7 damage, but you anticipate the second one and you dodge back from that one. It's going to, the one that he summoned is following up on that and also going to come and attack you. The second one rushes forward, swings at you, and you do the same kind of dodge, and then almost as if he remembers how you're going to avoid the second attack, he anticipates, steps forward, and plunges the crystal into your gut, and you disappear.
Bury me with my money!
Shit is getting real. Shit is getting real.
Ertleby?
Her shot just missed. She's pissed off. So she says, summoning what she has come to know as magic, vines, heed my shout, keep these grumpy old guys from moving about. And then she entangles them. Strength check.
Just imagine Ertleby shouting strength check at the cool guy.
Strength check!
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
She says exactly that. That's her line. She's like, her eyes are glowing slightly, and she's summoning all these vines, and as they surge toward them.
What? So everyone that's over on that side is captured by the vines, except for one who seems to kind of remember this and run forward a little bit and avoid it. And the one that's not entangled is going to rush towards you, Ertleby, and bring you down. Okay, it got 2 successful hits on you.
Oh no.
No.
For a total of 11 damage. I said just like 2 quick bashes against Ertleby.
I'm at 2 hit points.
10.
I think what I'm gonna do is try and wrestle the cane and try and rip it away from them.
Alright, so make a strength-based attack roll.
I mean, if anybody was going to do it, it's Tiny Tin.
Yeah.
You should then, if you get it out, you should really angrily break it over your knee just to, extra punch them in. Should you get a 1?
I imagine you holding the staff in one hand and
Megan's covering her mouth and making the I got a 1 face.
I got a 2, but then with my strength, I got
double
a 5.
your expectations.
I'm woozy from the hit to the head.
So you lunge forward, and he just spins the staff and backs away from you. Even though he's completely entangled, he still gets the staff away from you.
I'm just imagining her kind of losing balance and
Because they're entangled. They can't even move away, but they're just no.
So 1 successful hit. Another crash against your midsection for 6 damage. The other one's going to try and break out. That can't get to anybody. And successfully breaks out of the entangle and starts coming forward, but can't do anything else this round. Vassa?
I'm actually just going to attack Mr. Original, but I'm going to plant myself in front of, between Ertleby and Mr. Original.
Yep.
Such that, it's kind of defending her. Alright, let's see if I attack. 18.
Yep, you hit. So you do a quick flurry of blows, and you slash all over him. Your last hit plunges into his gut, and he dies on your blade. The one that's entangled is going to try to break out. Nope. At the end of your turn, Brummelstone, you reappear, but you reappear without your new friend. So you got slammed in the gut, and no time has passed at all for you. Ertleby?
So Ertleby wants to become small so that they can't hit her. And in this moment, as she thinks this, she transforms into a large gray rat. And then she scampers up on top of Vassa's shoulder for protection.
And Vassa does a whole woo!
Yeah, so I'm gonna burn a spell slot to roll for a D8 of healing.
Tin, your turn.
I will aim at which one's the next closest?
The next closest is another one of the originals.
So I'll take aim at that guy and try and pull myself together enough to try and line up a shot.
All right.
Oh, damn, son! Tin back!
How is this possible?
Our dice can only roll 1s and 20s.
360 no scope, man. It's got power. It's got power.
She does 28 damage.
Ooh.
All right, so another rip from your rifle blows into him. He looks pretty injured from that as he reels back and kind of has his hand over his shoulder from a terrible wound you just inflicted. Vassa?
Boom goes the
dynamite. First she kind of comments to the rat on her shoulder you couldn't have gone with a bear. But then she's going to try to attack the original that generated the second. That's a 10 plus a 6, so a 16.
That's it.
1 plus 4, so that's a 5. Short sword is a 3. 5 plus 2. And then, so then she's going to disengage away from the two of them.
Yep. All right. So rip into them again, and then you dart back with Ertleby and kind of mix yourself into the crowd, kind of get yourself in the middle of everybody else. This one who is still entangled cannot break free, but the one that he summoned is going to try to rush forward and actually try to hit Ertleby anyway. So, it swings twice and misses both times, trying to poke and knock you off of Vassa's shoulder. Brummelstone?
Well, Brummelstone's mad now. So if I could have run up and do Thunderwave and hit both of them?
You'd hit a lot of people.
Well, I know I have the evocation that lets it go around.
Oh, that's right. You're an evocationist. Yeah. Let's see. It's a 15-foot cube. You'd hit all 3.
Okay. Yeah. So I would position myself to push them back and kind of stand in my way because I did make a promise to Vassa that I would fall before she did.
Yep.
So I want to honor that, especially since one is standing in front of her. And she gave me a book, and I like books.
One of them passes, the other 2 don't.
Okay, so let's see. On a fail, they're pushed 10 feet away, and they take 2d8 thunder damage.
Okay.
And then the one that passes isn't pushed away, but takes half damage. So 10 altogether.
The summoned one, if you will, gets thrown back 10 feet and is almost out of the alley. The other one passed, and the third one is still entangled, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And the one that passed would take half damage. I don't know if you. So.
Yep. New round, and at the end of your turn, Roberto, you wink back into existence with that same creature that attacked you.
With the creature, okay.
With the creature, yeah. As far as you know, no time has passed, but when you look around, there's vines. Ertleby is seemingly gone. Vassa got a rat. Ertleby?
So my rat has the ability to smell. It's got special quality scent. Can it smell where the hidden one is?
Yeah, you could actually do a check for that.
It's going to do a smell check. It's like...
All right, so give me a perception.
9.
It says in the entry for rat, it says you get advantage.
Yay! All right, let's do the thing again. I moved it up to an 11. I'm a lucky rat, though.
You gonna roll again?
Yes, one more time.
All right.
Really sniffing hard.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
It's funny. The 11 was actually good enough. Yeah, you do catch wind of someone who is in one of the windows. They're off to the side, and they have a set of notes, and they've been taking notes furiously.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna claw at Vassa's neck and be like,
I'm like, whoa. Vassa's like, whoa, grandmother, stop! I'm trying to focus here.
That same one that was attacking Ertleby is going to try and go for it again. So he's going to rush forward, and when he does, he goes through Roberto's area. So you get an opportunity attack, Roberto.
Yeah, time to get Bordo back in business.
Yeah, back in business. I got you.
-4.
Oh, mother!
You can't even get that low.
7.
Aww.
He's disoriented.
Yeah. So you take a big swipe, and it just very calmly dodges around you, and it's next to you, Brummelstone, but it's on your side, and it's throwing its staff forward to try to hit Ertleby.
No!
And miss. And miss. And
Yeah!
he looks defeated, and it looks like he's going to be giving up on that action. Let's see. The next one's going to try to break out. Still no go. 10.
Okay. I'm going to kind of make like a kissing my rifle action, and I'm gonna be like, "Come on, baby, do me right," and then I'll aim at the last original.
All right.
And try and hit. I got a 17.
That's a hit. As far as you can tell, there's actually 2 originals still.
Is the one that I tried to shoot at last time still alive, or is that one
he's
dead?
the one that's been trying to attack Ertleby.
Okay, so I'm still aiming at him then.
Okay.
I got 8 points of damage.
All right, and then after that is Vassa.
All right. Well, I am kind of annoyed and distracted by Ertleby, so if I could, I would grab her and try to stuff her in a pocket or something away from my neck. Then I would turn my sights on the also annoyance, which is Mr. Capital B, and I'll try to attack him.
All right.
Let's see. That's a 3 plus a 6, which is a 9.
No, unfortunately.
Too busy dancing around trying to deal with scratchy Ertleby.
All right, so the one you attacked is going to look around, and you can get an attack on him because he's retreating.
That's a 13 plus a 6 is a 19.
That's it.
Damn.
Okay. So now that Ertleby is in the pocket, I can focus again on, the matter of murder. And let's see. Scimitar first. That's an 8. Short sword. 4. My sneak attack is 6, and then I disengage. So that's 6, 3 plus 8, 9 plus 8, 17 damage.
Yeah, so he looks severely wounded, and he's clutching onto it. He's holding his gut, and as you disengage, he ducks back into the archway of the building that the third one had come out of. The one that he summoned is going to turn around and try to attack Roberto, and actually, wow, gets a hit.
Ugh.
For 10 damage. It's like it spins around and just drives its staff into your back when you weren't paying attention. For 10 damage.
Cool.
Brummelstone.
Okay, well, while the original leaving, I'll just actually cast Magic Missile at the one leaving.
Oh, he actually got into the archway before your turn, so he's out of sight.
Okay. Well, can I follow him? No.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So I'll do that. Can I cast Magic Missile at him?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So 10 damage.
So yeah, you let loose a volley of magic missiles that slam into his back, and he almost falls over from that, but just keeps himself up and is still trying to leave. Roberto.
Alright. I'm super pissed. One, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Like, I lost 5 seconds or something of time. The guy just stabbed me in the butt, and 18 seconds. I just got stabbed in the butt, and I'm super offended because that's my job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish off this guy. One of you guys chase after the guy that ran away. Alright? So I swing around, get my swords up again, and I jab heartily at the guy who did fucking 10 damage. I could feel that 10 damage. I felt 10 pieces of iron fall off of my skin. 11.
That's a whiff.
Not feeling it. The day's not my day.
Ertleby?
Is gonna wriggle her way out of the pocket, scamper down Vassa's leg, and then just set off to go see what this person who's taking notes is doing. She's gonna scamper off in that direction.
Okay, so yeah, you dart into the building and scamper.
But she's really sneaky, right? Because she's a rat. And she's already pretty sneaky. She's a very dexterous old lady. So she's sneaking as she does
make a stealth check then.
18.
So yeah, you dart into the building and you make your way through a few rooms and find the one that he's at, and he's actually closing up his book and getting ready to leave.
What does he look like?
He looks much older than the third one that came out. He still looks mummified, but his clothes are ragged. There's a little bit of battle wear on it that would match up to the damage that the third one has taken. But yeah, he is packing up his stuff and getting ready to leave. The one that you're attacking, Roberto, is going to take off, so you get an opportunity attack on him.
Oh, yes. Please. 21.
21?
To hit.
That's a hit.
Yes! I gleefully stab him in the back, like he did to me just 5 minutes ago. A second ago. And I do 8 piercing.
Alright, so yeah, you pierce right into his side. And as you do that, Ertleby, you watch as the one that was taking notes and packing up, he pulls his cloak back a little bit and looks at the hole from where Roberto stabbed him. And he looks scared.
The doctor is in.
But regardless,
it's time for your proctology appointment.
He is going. He's going to hop out a side window and start taking off.
The oldest McDude.
Yeah. Tin.
I'll take aim at the guy that Roberto just stabbed. 18.
That's a hit. Yeah, he's running out of the alley, so yeah, you got a clear shot at him.
Get him.
15 damage.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, can I use an action surge so that I can have an additional action?
You can.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna do that and try and kill this guy.
Mofo.
So I roll again, right, for additional attack? Okay. A 16.
That's a hit.
Yeah, he is dead. He 16 damage.
All right, so you shoot him in the back of the head, and he collapses.
Pew pew!
Fatality.
Just like blow the smoke off of my gun.
Very nice.
Vassa?
Yeah, Vassa would have briefly kind of like reached out a hand, but like, grandmother, as the rats go down, just like, oh, I can't. So she steps out under the archway, observes the Mr. Capital B running away, and pulls out her bow and tries to take aim.
All right, you got one shot.
All right.
He's getting ready to turn down the corner after this.
18 plus 6, that's a 20 math.
Ooh.
20 math is a hit. You bury an arrow in the back of his neck, and he collapses. And then the other one that was still in the area, just fades away.
Damn.
Is that the old one? Like the one I was looking at who ran out the window?
Well, you don't know
or...
what happened to him because he's out of your view now. But the other one that was in
Right.
the alley,
Gotcha.
just suddenly just stops existing. And so far, everyone's gone. That's it.
Boom.
Ertleby in rat form is going to scamper over to the window and like stick her head out. Can she smell him?
No, he's completely gone. All you see is his paperwork on the floor.
All right, well, she's in the window. She's going to start making her rat noises again to try and get people's attention.
All right.
Curses, we got foiled again.
I like to hear rat sounds like Beaker. So anybody that wants to can roll an intelligence check to try to kind of piece together what happened in that fight.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
I just got an 11.
Sure, Tin will try too.
Vassa would be walking around being like, grandmother.
Yeah.
And then kind of like making little sounds.
You do hear the sounds of a meeping rat from inside a window.
Okay, well, can Vassa get into that building?
Easy. Yeah, you hop right into the window and you see her. You see the rat, hopefully it's Ertleby, just kind of like on its hind legs, just like...
Yeah, I'm just actually, I don't know if it's her. I'm like, grandmother? As I'm talking to this rat.
Actually, Pedro, can you go in and whenever I'm meeping, do your own rat impersonation? Because it's so much better than mine.
Nope.
No.
It's going to be amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. I went...
You can have like a whole crew called the Meepers. Every time you turn into...
Would Vassa also notice the papers that were left behind?
Yeah, you'd see him in the middle of the street, yeah.
Okay. Well, she would gather them on her way back, and then kind of just immediately pass them to Brimblestone, being like, oh, this is your jurisdiction. Doesn't even look at them.
Roberto got a 0 on his intelligence check.
How?
I got a 22 on my intelligence check.
I got a 16.
Nice. Brummelstone and Tin, this is what you've kind of figured out happened. What you pieced together from that battle was that they seem to be summoning. This comes much easier to Brummelstone than it does to Tin because it's his world, so it's not so
Right, no
abstract.
surprise.
What's up?
I said no surprise. Yeah.
No, what so Brummelstone realizes is that they were summoning themselves from another time. What you put together, Tin, was that the originals were very much the source of the future selves. Like, as you and Brummelstone start talking about what happened, that's why you guys were able to start putting them away so fast, is because as you damaged and destroyed the originals, the future ones stopped existing. And as you're comparing notes, you realize too that, yeah, the future ones, whenever they hit with their staff, it seemed like they were the ones that were propelling people into the future. Almost as if they were taking them back with them.
To the future. Oh.
I get you.
As soon as I said it, I was like, all right, that's the setup. T-ball's ready.
Yeah, were they going 88 miles an hour? That's what I think I noticed first.
Rocks of fire.
I wish I'd have thought of that because I would have given them bulletproof vests. Thanks so much for listening to World Walkers. I can't believe we're already at episode 10. I want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/worldwalkers for helping us reach our first goal. And I want to take a second to thank all of you. Taking the time to listen to the podcast is incredibly humbling for me. And I wanted to let everyone know that I hope you're having as much fun listening as we are creating the podcast. If you want to keep up on news, follow us on Twitter at WorldWalkersPod or give us a like on Facebook at facebook.com/WorldWalkers. If you want early episodes, exclusive art, and more, you should check us out on patreon.com/WorldWalkers. We got our next live draw event coming up where you can hang with us while we draw and answer questions live. Thanks again to Syrinscape, who provided the music and sound effects you heard today. Visit them at Syrinscape.com.
Is anyone on board for that elephant? Because that was a serious thing.
You want to buy an elephant? Buy an elephant to travel the world.
I'm so serious. I want an elephant.
Well, that decision would have to be made in game. So.
Oh yes.
Okay. Tim's gonna turn to the group. You guys want to get an elephant?
It's like Tiny Tin is super serious, but then she saw the elephant. It's just like, guys, we have to get an elephant.
I don't know if I remember the elephant. What is this?
It's 200 gold pieces to get an elephant, and it's like it's like so legit. And he has like its own hit points, and he can stomp people, and you can ride him.
I like how you're underground in some sort of dwarven mining town, and they have one single elephant for sale.
Get your elephants here. Elephants for dwarves.
They're like, please, we don't know. We just found it in the mines, and we don't know what to do with it.
Oversized dwarf with a trench coat. He like lifts it up under the
I got your African elephants. You got your Asian elephants.
It's like, are you sure you're a dwarf?
I got your teacup elephants.
Trunks in a trunk, and it's just like a collection of elephants.
There is a flash flood warning in my area, guys, so I will try and D&D as long as I can, and if you just hear gurgling, just know that I died doing what I love.
Your tombstone is just like a D20.
Yeah, like I'm literally like bobbing, and I'm just like, wait, it's my roll. I got it.
Hanging onto a door is like, never let go, Jack.
This has been a lucky night so far. Like, we haven't had that many rolls. We've had 2 20s. Keep them coming, team.
I'm excited.
Now, if anyone doesn't roll a 20, I'm going to be disappointed.
We won't let you down.
You had one job.
Yeah, I don't make that guarantee. I might let you down a lot. You know, I had to give the same speech to my parents.
Expect disappointment. I decided Raven 2 is spelled with a Y. So it's Rave Y-N.
Yeah, Raven's one name was actually That's So Raven. I'm excited for Raven 3 because it's Raven the Three Amigos.
I was thinking it was going to be like Faster and Furiouser.
No, it's going to be named Trey.
It's going to be Raven Tokyo Drift.
Like Raven Hard with a vengeance.
Point is we can summon a lot of ravens, and they're all going to have a name.
This naming convention will go on badly for hours. I apologize.
Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I hear crying outside my door.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And that's the last we ever saw of Petra.
Hi!
Too cute.
Yes? Look at the tiny human!
So cute. So cute.
It'd be funny if it was like, yeah, like Olivia says, like the quiet, creepy crying of a child, and and then Pedro's like, my daughter's not home. And then he goes to open
you
the
guys
door.
want to say hi real quick before she goes to bed? Say hi.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I know. They make me cry too, baby. They make me cry too.